Yes, some fathers are absent, as are some mothers. And some might be the inept characters of marketing ads or cartoons, struggling to work the washing machine or to look after the baby alone. But the majority of fathers are not those people. We need to broaden our spectrum of who we think dad is to include all the fathers who stick around, investing in their children's emotional, physical, and intellectual development, regardless of whether they live with their children or not. We need to discuss the dads who coach football, read bedtime stories, locate rogue school socks, and scare away the nighttime monsters, who encourage their children's mental resilience and scaffold their entry into our increasingly complex social world, who are not defined by their genetic relatedness to their children, but because they step up and do the job. The stepdads, social dads, grandfathers, friends, uncles and boyfriends. Parents are part of the circle of families and friends who nurture life, from its earliest beginnings till its earthly conclusion. Fathers' roles are changing in our current generations, and it's a challenging time to be a father. Today, we're going to hear from 3 members of our congregation. We'll hear their stories about fatherhood. We'll hear what fatherhood has been like for them, and in the process, we'll all gain a deeper view about what fatherhood can be. Let us listen with reverence and allow our minds and hearts to be open to new perspectives on this most sacred of topics. Tom Whitman?
Good morning. Good morning. I just never wanted being very concise. I apologize in advance. Also, because I'm Canadian, so we just do that. I want to preface this by saying that we've been coming to UCHV for just over a year now. And one of the first and most memorable services for me was last year's Father's Day service. I remember listening to Chris and David and I think maybe Robert, and I remember thinking, I'm not sure, I apologize, but I remember thinking how I could never encapsulate fatherhood as elegantly, poignantly, and humorously as they did. And thanks to Reverend Jane, I now have the opportunity to prove myself right. Ever since Reverend Jane invited me to speak today, I found myself reflecting on how my views of fatherhood have changed over the years. As a child, I viewed my father's role as a traditional provider and disciplinarian, but really I think mostly defined my father by all his quirks. He was obsessed with foods, not food, but specific foods. Shrimp. He would rate trade shows he attended solely by the size, quality, and quantity of shrimp available. His love of eating raw hamburger meat straight out of the package after sprinkling salt on it. It took me a while to realize that was not standard practice. Puns. He was always cracking dad jokes and making horrible, horrible puns. He was also obsessed with sales. He once used our tiny apartment in Ossining as a warehouse for a dozen Persian rugs that he got online for a great deal, but they wouldn't ship to Canada. What are you going to do with all these rugs, I asked. What am I going to do with them? He wasn't going to use them. He was certain that his acquaintances would all want one, regardless of the color, size, pattern, etc. These are some of the things that, in my mind, sort of defined him as my father and shaped my view of fatherhood. And then suddenly I found myself in a hospital, helping to bring our daughter Lindy into the world. Being honest, there wasn't much help to be offered at that moment. Holding Emily's hand through more excruciating pain than I can ever imagine is kind of the very least you can do, you know? Oh, and I got to cut the umbilical cord. That's something, isn't it? My first official act of fatherhood was to sever the literal connection my amazing wife and an equally amazing child she'd been gracious enough to carry around for 9+ months. Speaking to you all about fatherhood Sort of feels like Robin speaking about what it's like to fight crime while Batman is sitting in the audience. For me, fatherhood then became learning a new skill set: swaddling, one-handed diaper changes, getting the bottle just warm enough but not too warm, learning to function on only 3 hours of sleep. It was great. Babies aren't too hard to figure out. The decision tree for a crying 2-month-old isn't that complex. This fatherhood thing, I thought, I got this. You know, years ago in graduate school, I decided to start playing the daily New York Times crossword puzzle, which I heard was all the rage. One Monday morning, I picked up the paper and gave it a shot. I couldn't believe how easy it was. The following day, same thing. I was feeling quite good about myself. And by Friday, I was rather humbled when I couldn't figure out a single clue. It all made sense when my roommate informed me that the puzzles increase in difficulty from Monday through Sunday. And that's a pretty good analogy for how being a father has gone for me, but with one exception. There's no reset button for this. No matter how tricky the Sunday puzzle is, Monday always resets back to easy. As Lindy has grown, and then as Felix joined us, that simple decision tree I mentioned, it's starting to look a lot like a wiring diagram for a nuclear reactor. And as far as I can tell, it'll always be that way. I've never been the father of an 8-year-old, but by the end of this month, amazingly, I will be. But that's not being the father of a 9-year-old, an 18-year-old, a 30-year-old. Those, I'm sure, will all bring newer and more complicated puzzles to work out, and with fewer and fewer clues. And it's only been in the past few months, really, since the loss of my father, that I fully appreciated what he was able to do. He didn't get bogged down in the details of all those decisions to be made. There were a few key guiding principles. Presence. He was always there when I needed him. Laughter. Those puns. Those aside, we all laughed, and oh, how we laughed. And it has always made the rough times easier to manage. Charity. He was always giving to others, whether it was Persian rugs, golf shirts, or arranging for scholarships for underprivileged youth. Character. Surround yourself with the best people. Food and community. Break bread together, and often, although keep it down on the raw hamburger. At his funeral, I had the joy of looking out at literally hundreds of people who came to honor and remember him, with hundreds more unable to attend due to the unexpected time of his death. People saw him for who he really was, a man. I look at Lindy and Felix, at their joy, their frustrations, their beauty, their silliness, their tears, their anger. And they are such mirrors for our very best and our very worst qualities, hopefully the best ones in public. And I am awed by the enormous responsibility that comes with being a parent. I am terrified by the increasingly complex challenges to be faced as our children grow and as our society and technology continue to evolve. I am heartened by the fact that a few key guiding principles, knowing what's really important, can help us as a family get past all of my quirks and hopefully the countless mistakes I have made and will continue to make as I continue to learn how to be a father. And I'm grateful for all the fathers who have been and continue to be in our lives, and to all my loved ones, especially my wife, Emily, who continue to support me as a father. Thank you.
Full life with with lots of memorable experiences. But perhaps the most emotional moment in my life was being in the delivery room as my late wife delivered our first and only child, Donald. So when Reverend Jane asked me if I would share my thoughts on fatherhood with the congregation today, I didn't hesitate to say yes. How does one learn to be a good father? Sure, there is reading books about it. Any academic type would tell you that. And sure, you do what your spouse asks you to do if you are caring and driven to be responsible. A lot of it, though, is based on what you saw your own father doing, for better or worse. Luckily, in my case, it was for the better. I come from a large, mostly happy family. I was the oldest of 6 children. My father worked for the same company throughout his career, and my mother stayed home and took care of us. That was typical in the late 40s, 50s, and the early 60s. Looking back, I can see that my father had a lot of good qualities and behaviors. Steadiness and reliability, volunteerism. He was the chairman of the Board of Education in a small town, and later he was president of his church. New England frugality to make sure you have the resources that you and your children will need in the future. Respect for the importance of education and learning. Eagerness to travel to beautiful places and openness to new experiences. Love of the outdoors. I admired him and felt he was a terrific role model. So much so that I chose to attend a college where he earned one of his degrees. I majored in the same subject he did. My wife and I named our son after him. We spent summer vacations and Christmas breaks with him and my mother. As I matured, though, I realized that there's more to being a good father than what I observed my father doing when I was growing up. Although my mother didn't have a paying job outside the home, she dealt with a newborn every 2 years with the first 5 of us. She needed help, and the boys had to do their share of the work. Setting the table, washing dishes, doing the laundry, ironing, vacuuming, making beds, and certainly at age 10, taking care of the younger kids, including changing diapers. Fortunately, when I got married and we had our son, I wasn't a stranger to these fatherhood tasks, even though I certainly didn't learn them from my father. Another thing I didn't see from my father was something that my wife taught me. Cuddling your child and giving him hugs are just as important as teaching him to be responsible and independent. Building their self-esteem is important, if not more important, is correcting their misbehavior and mistakes. Fatherhood doesn't exist in a vacuum. Each person is different, with unique talents, histories, and problems. The performance of the job of father will partly depend on the personality and abilities of that father and his experiences, particularly with his father. Success, however, you might define that, depends on the father's and the couple's ability to learn. Success depends on the respect of the worth and dignity of the child and of the partner. Sound familiar? That's our first principle. What is success anyway when it comes to the concept of fatherhood? I think success means helping the father develop into an adult who is a productive member of society following our 7 principles. I think about these things now. Even though Donald is 45 years old, I still worry about him. And I know that the things I do and say still affect him. He actually scolded me a couple of weeks ago for something I recently did in my role as father. So you can see I'm not a finished product yet. He and his wife are expecting their first child in early November. Just as I watched my father and picked up concepts of fatherhood from him, Donald has undoubtedly learned about fatherhood from what he has seen from me. What kind of a father is he going to be to his little girl? I hope I've been a good example. I hope all of us are good examples to our kids, as mothers and fathers, aunts and uncles, grandmothers and grandfathers, older brothers and sisters. May it be so.
Okay, and we're so grateful to Meredith. She was scheduled to play last week, and with all the beautiful activities that were happening last week, she graciously agreed to play today instead for all you beautiful fathers out there.
Jane if I would like to speak, and I immediately said yes. Because for two reasons. One, because I like to speak. And the second was that this is kind of part of my coming back after a pretty rough year. And being here with my family in church